Unsyndicated presents What the Puck with Sean Baligian.
Up conference finals. It is slowly winding down. Inevitability has hit Mr. Iavasile. I think it's safe to say that as we sit here right now, a rematch is loading for the first time in 16 years. Of course, everybody will remember the Wings beat the Pens in 6 and 08, and then the Pens returned the favor the next year in 2009 and 1 and 7. Mike, the inevitability is here. It looks like a rematch is nigh.
Yes, and the crazy part, Sean, is if you haven't checked your local sports book, the Edmonton Oilers are now the odds-on favorite to win the Stanley Cup.
I was going to say that to you for all of the respect that the Florida Panthers deserve right now. Mike, I think Connor McDavid is the best player in the league. Let there be no mistake. I don't think anybody, if you say another name, no disrespect to that guy, he could be a great player. He isn't Connor McDavid. And I think with everything going the way they are for the Edmonton Oilers right now, including Stu Skinner, I don't get it. It's happening again, and it's happening even worse than it was last year, truth be told.
Sean, yeah, and Edmonton hasn't played a perfect game yet. And that, with that said, they're 5 bad minutes in game 1 away from a sweep, really. I mean, they fell asleep at the beginning of that third period in game 1 and lost it. But every time they stop playing the game they need to, Stu bails them out, Sean.
Yep.
What did he have? 34 saves the other night, 28 saves last. I mean, like, what are we talking about? And we're talking big saves, not just puck hitting him, but looking confident. And now we're in his sweet spot. Games 4 through 7 is his sweet spot. 12 and 1. Game 6 game 5 coming up, right?
Yep. You know what? Can I say this though, Mike? I think this series is going to be extended until Saturday. I do. I just have a sneaking suspicion Dallas holds serve. More on Carolina and obviously Florida in a little bit. I have a sneaking suspicion Dallas holds serve. And I have a feeling that we might, depending on your schedule, be watching a game on Saturday night and talking to everybody.
Yeah, I'll check that schedule because anytime I can get over for a barbecue, you know I'm in. Because I know you're going to throw some Durocs on. I know you've got some beef smoked sausage that me and you have to experiment with.
I got to try it. Like seriously. I mean, really, that's yes, beef smoked sausage. I'm in. Let me try it.
And Sean, just for everybody out there, I'm not just saying this. There's lots of things you nail and you are good at. Sausage is one of them. And when you put it on there, you shut that. You almost tease me. You shut that Weber grill at 9,000 degrees and you walk away and you know I'm dying because the smoke's billowing out. I'm like, it's on fire. It's on fire. And you open it up and those beef sausages are just perfectly charred. You've got it down to a science, even when they're frozen.
Even when they're frozen. I have a freezer downstairs. I make use of it. Okay, there are things in there that have been in there for I wouldn't say a crazy amount of time. Now the sausages, Mike, I keep a lot of sausages in the freezer. I do because you never know when you are going to have a sausage fest, right?
Oh, absolutely, you have to. I mean, I've got them all the time. I did those Durocs the other day. I sent those to you. Guess who popped in? Firecracker.
It's amazing.
Mr. Firecracker popped right in, and the entire family loved it.
Yeah, it's amazing how that works out. All right, let's get caught up with some comments before we get some thoughts on the series, including good evening, Tom. Tom, good luck to your Knights. They have to win one more to punch their ticket into the final of the Memorial Cup. They'll be facing Medicine Hat. What's going on? Edmonton looking like a train. Dave, right now, I think they're the best team in the league. You have to beat the champ, just like Pittsburgh had to beat the champ in 2009. Isn't it amazing And I think the National Hockey League likes this, Mike. They don't want the dynasties. They don't want the same teams there. This could be, it's not official yet. It could be the first rematch since 08-09. Mike G said, "What's up, Shawnee and Mike? What's up to you, Mike G?" Tom said, "Now that will be funny if Edmonton beats Florida." Eric, what up? Go Oil, go. Wallman playing well for the Oilers. Can Stevie get a player like that? Oh, wait.
It seems every show we get that one.
I'm not going to call people out. I'm not going to call people out, but I had a conversation, and you tell me if this sounds familiar, Mike. I had a conversation with a couple friends of mine, and they're probably going to get mad at me for even bringing it up here, but I won't say their names. And it was, Mike, it was actually painful. It was painful to watch them try to, what's the best way I can say it? Try to absolve Steve Yzerman of blame in this process. And here's the crazy thing, and this is what I tried to explain to them, okay? And I still feel this way. It's not like they're awful, okay? It's not like that they're not quote unquote awful, okay? But as I sit here today on May 28th, shout out May 28th is Dave Mitchell's birthday, by the way. Coach Mitchell, happy birthday. As I sit here on May 28th, Mike, there isn't a lot to be excited about. There isn't a lot to say, yeah, it's right around the corner and everything. You would have thought that I was saying he's the worst general manager in the history, man. The way they reacted was really adverse. And I think when you drill down to it, a lot of people get emotionally charged because, well, it's Steve Yzerman. And Steve Yzerman means so much to people around here. He's always going to be a hero, no matter how this ends. But I just kept saying, Mike, because, I brought up Coach Blashill obviously going to Chicago. Never hit it. I like Coach Blash. Coach Blash and I have gotten along. I wish him all the success in the world. I really do, except when he's playing the Habs. But really, this is, Mike, this is one of those things that it was as innocuous as saying, remember how Blash was the root of all evil to a lot of people? Okay. Maybe he wasn't the source of everything evil and bad and dastardly within the Red Wings franchise, because 3 years later, the handpicked successor failed miserably. And the year that they were supposed to take the step up, meaning last year, they took a bitter step back. And like, it's not hammering the guy. It's not saying he's awful or anything like that. It's speaking factually. As we sit here today, Mike, I think if you ask Steve Yzerman, he'd be the first one to say, yeah, we're behind schedule. I didn't think this is where we would be. And it's really weird because I think you're now starting to get a little pushback. Well, it's probably been there longer than I thought, but you're starting to get some pushback for people about, where this is going. I can't tell you where it's going. And I can't say, Mike, if you're one of those guys, dude, they're going to win a cup in the next 2 years. I can't say you're wrong, right? I can say, but I can't say you're wrong. But you know what I can definitively tell you? I can tell you where it's been, and it hasn't been good enough.
Yeah, and I'm always interested to hear what their evidence is. If they say, we're only 2 years away, it's coming, it's building, what is it at? And to see where they go. What is going to be really interesting, though, Sean, is what is the reaction going to be? I don't know if it's going to happen if Blashill has success in Chicago and Chicago takes the step that Ottawa and Montreal took this year ahead of Detroit. Do I think that's going to happen? Absolutely not. But that adds a little bit into it. But it's just very interesting. A lot of guys that I know are starting to question the captain. And that's what you've got to get past. But again, to the root of the argument you were having, it's very hey hockey town, right? I mean, this is what this town does.
It's really weird because, Mike, I think you know me well enough. You'll know when I'm taking a shot, okay? I don't like to go dick too much anymore, but occasionally it still pops up. You'll know when I was trying, guys. I'm not taking a shot. I'm talking about factual things that happened. I mean, this year, I was one of those guys this year. I thought after the end of the 24 season, okay, Wow, it's going to be interesting to see what happens in 24-25. And then the offseason kind of threw us all off. And if you don't believe us, you can go back and check some of our vids from talking about it in the summer. Mike and I both thought they'd take a step back. And it was a pretty big step back. When you have to fire your coach, you have to go get another coach. And, you fall back the way you did, while at the same time others are doing well. I completely understand any native being restless. And I would hope, even if you're the biggest Steve Yzerman fan in the world, don't we all have to admit right now this hasn't gone as planned?
You have to. You have to be realistic. And the further this goes the opposite direction, the further Detroit gets from being a destination for all these guys that they think want to come here and sign here as a free agent. And that's something to see, because we've already dogged this year's class, Sean. But I know you are aware of next year's class of free agents. I don't know how many are going to get to free agency because they're big dogs. But how many? I looked at it today and I'm like, why would any of these guys leave just the situation they're in, let alone the offers they're going to get from, let's say, tax-free states?
You got it.
Come on.
It's like my buddy Ray posted something today that showed, and I wish I had it on me, Mike. I don't know if you saw the silly meme, but there was a player making $10 million in Toronto and a player making $10 million in Florida. It's night and day, man. And it's not just the Canadian funds versus the American funds, but it's the tax. It's the provincial tax. It's no state tax. There was a huge difference. Don't quote me on this. Please don't quote me on this. I think the take-home pay for the Florida Panther was like $4.9 million or $4.8 million. And for the Maple Leaf, it was like $3.6 million. Hey, this just in, $1.3 million is a lot of money, especially, like, let's say you have a 5-year contract. Well, my goodness gracious, Mike, that's $6.5 million over the term of the contract. Like, pardon my language, but fuck me.
That wipes out a lot of the advantage, because the advantage they started to give teams was if you sign your guy, they give you that 8th year, right? Where you could tell. What does that matter? With that 7 years, you can't match my $10 million extra, and I'm going to a better franchise, a better team, the Sun, whatever it is. I mean, it's fact, Sean. Just look at the Stanley Cup champions and the teams that have been in the Final Four. Just go back 5 years.
Yep.
It's all tax-free teams. It just is.
No doubt about that. Hey, listen, did you know that thousands of Metro Detroiters have already called Legacy Partners to get help with their home and auto insurance? Our friends at Legacy are one of Southeast Michigan's top independent insurance agents. They provide a full-service, one-stop solution for all of your insurance needs, personal and business. Listen, I can speak personally to this, okay? This is an average, everyday dude. They helped my family out. They went in and fixed mistakes that were made. They got the right coverage put in place, and yes, we saved money. Chances are you're probably in the same boat that we were in. Maybe you haven't checked your policies in the last year. You're paying too much. You're underinsured. These guys are going to hook you up. They've been doing it for plenty of people, including yours truly, for a long, long time. So give Legacy Partners a chance to help with your home, your cars, life insurance, Medicare enrollment, or your business insurance needs. Call them today, 586-209-4106, or visit legacypartnersins.com to get started with your new quote. Mike, are you in the bathroom?
No, I switched it up, Sean. My wife cherry-picked this awesome computer chair from a house we were at, and it looked comfortable, so I'm just sitting at the computer desk, and I figured I'd point it towards a little Pearl Jam concert poster. That's my water heater, water softener, and stuff back there, but just down in the basement.
Coach Hunter, thank you for the kind words. Awesome with the Durox. Dave said Barber Foods, raw stuffed chicken breast, broccoli cheese. I cooked on the grill today at work. They came out great. So good. Way to go, Dave. I got this stuff from Turkey, by the way, Mike. It's called Sultan Spice. I don't know what it's made of, but in talking to people, they were kind of familiar with it. And what you do is you add it into the burger. You don't put it on the burger, but you add it into the burger meat. I can't explain to you the kick up that it gave. It wasn't. Mike. It's almost like when we're talking about a good sausage, like just flavor. It was just a good flavor kick. It's just a good flavor kick.
Yeah, flavor.
It wasn't like mind blowing. It was just like, oh, that's a different flavor. Oh, I like that. That's what I did the other day. Hi, Alex, my buddy Alex. Habs farm clubs run deep in playoff runs. Trois-Rivières, Laval in the AHL conference final. Yeah, you know what? I watched some of that game the other day. Caden Primo played really, really well. In the first round, it was kind of the Jacob Fowler show. In the second round, it's been Caden Primo. So who knew? Tom, thank you for bringing this up. Mike, I'm sure you saw this, but if you haven't, Russia is banned from the upcoming Olympics. I'm like that guy on the grounds crew today at Comerica Park. If
Ovechkin could stop bombing fucking places over there, we wouldn't have this problem, Sean.
He's got to stop. How much will Hyman's injury affect the Oilers? Oh, it's huge. It's huge. It is. I mean, I still think even with that, Kirk, they're going to beat Dallas. I'd be surprised if Dallas came back and won this series. I think you would say the same thing. But, Mike, again, all I can do is base this on what I've seen so far. I say again, I think Edmonton's been the best team so far. And that's not taking anything away from Florida. You know how much I respect Florida's game. I think they've been the best team so far.
I think Florida has played the most complete games and dominated. Edmonton, I think, is the best team. They just haven't played a complete game. And that's saying they've won a couple 5-goal games. Just think about that. It's unbelievable. And I know, and Coach Hunter, I think this Hyman injury is going to be huge because the guy was scoring goals, Sean, and hitting people like you wouldn't believe, right? I think he's got more hits in the playoffs than he had all regular season already. It's huge.
Mike, what kind of beer are you drinking? Let me say it's gluten-free.
Boom. It is gluten-free. It's called New Grist, and you would be familiar with that, Sean. I had it when we were in Milwaukee. They actually had it there, and I can find it out here. It's like Lakefront New Grist or something like that. It's a Pilsner, but it's gluten-free, and it's great.
Hubie, the Sausage Fest parties are great. Well, Hubie, if you can make it over. Mike, I know you're up in the air, but I'm thinking our mutual friend Jim Friel might just show up. I've heard a rumor that he might just show up, and Hubie and Hunter will do something Saturday regardless whether or not there's a game. I think there's going to be a game. I do. I think that I'm going tomorrow, Mike, to join my buddy Jack Ebling. He's having a viewing party at a bar up in East Lansing, 1 North. And so they're having like a hockey elite viewing party up there. If it wasn't a school night, I'd say, I'll pick you up on the way. Let's go. But yeah, I'm going to head up there with some people from the Fox affiliate up there and Jack Ebling and a bunch of people. So I'm looking forward to watching the game at 1 North tomorrow.
Awesome.
Tom said Yzerman has made some good draft picks, but the free agent signings are a joke, especially last season. Last season was a disaster. Mike, it's kind of funny because I was, and I'll tell you afterwards who I was having this conversation with. It's kind of funny because every turn, like somebody would say to me, well, they haven't done a real good job with the pro scouting. And I'd say, well, DeBrincat was a good sign. I think Kane turned out better than most people thought. Okay. But overall, yes, it's been a mixed bag and towards a negative. And somebody legitimately said to me, and again, I'm not being disrespectful. I don't want to say their name anyway, just so they know I'm not being a dick. They said, well, whose fault is that? And I said, well, the general manager is the guy that put the people in place, right? Just like the general manager, if he makes a change at coach and then makes another change at coach, and then he makes a change with this pro scouting, again, guys that he put in there, at some point in time, I think the answer is looking in the mirror, isn't it?
Absolutely. There's a saying, and you've heard me say it, if it stinks like shit everywhere you go, you might want to smell yourself because it just might be you. And at some point, you got to take a look at the general trees. Again, that's his job. He makes all those decisions. It has to fall on him. You can't put shitty rosters in place and fire every freaking coach. You just can't.
Austin said we're going to learn if Steve is out of touch and or how much of an impact Chris Ilitch is having real quick. I give Yzerman 2 more years to make progress or the turkeys will come home to roost. I can't envision, Austin, to your point, I can't envision a scenario unless they go full Buffalo Sabres where they get rid of Steve Yzerman. I'm just telling you the truth. I really and truly, especially if Mrs. Ilitch is still alive. I'm Mike, I'm being very, very serious when I say that. I cannot envision a scenario. But Austin, I get your point. Let's take Austin to his let's take what Austin said. Mike, we're sitting here 2 years from now. It is May 28th, 2027. The Detroit Red Wings have finally made the playoffs. They haven't won a playoff round. What is that success? And you know I'm not pointing the finger at you, Austin, but I think you bring up an interesting point. Can we, what is success? At that point in time, when you're talking about 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, you're talking about 9 years. 9 years later. Hooray, the longest drought in franchise history is over. You get into the playoff as a 7 seed. Golly gee, you fought really hard. Boy, oh boy, you really gave Florida all they could handle. Are we going to sit back and call that success 2 years from now? Because Lord knows, I hope not.
Depending on how you judge it. Now, is that success? No. Is that more success than there was? Yes. And I think what you would have to wait for, because you're talking about a sticky period of time, Sean. This is a period of time me and you have talked about for a long time. It's that basically 4 years from now is that magic time for me. That's when I think Augustine will be ready. Augustine will be up. That's the guy we're waiting for. And all these wonderful draft picks that he's had have to hit. Then you could say that. So let's say that's what's happening in 27, right? And we make it as a 7 seed. Then we get knocked out in the first round. That's going to buy him time. But any setback from that now has to be it.
Yep.
Like 7 to 6 to 5, you win a series. But if you go from 7 and you miss the playoffs the next year, now you're done.
No.
Now you're done.
Ray brings up an interesting question. I'm going to get to it in just a second, Ray. But first, let me tell you about the brothers. And if you're ready to take charge of your financial future, reach out to the brothers right there, the Wealth Advantage Group, located in historic downtown Northville, owned by Mike Husak on the left, Jeff Husak on the right. They understand that your financial goals are as unique as you are. They offer personalized expert guidance to help navigate the complexities of financial planning. Again, guys, I can speak to this, all right? They've been there for our journey, our family, planning ahead for college for first my son and then my daughter. Then, hey, I got about 10 more years of good hard work, and then I'm going to chill out and drink whiskey and eat wings with my pal Mike, while sitting near a smoker. Those are my plans for the future, guys. Okay? These are guys that can help get you there. You could be saving for retirement. You could be ready to sell a company already in retirement. It doesn't matter. These guys help clients through all stages of life. They serve clients in over 20 different states. The investment world is a complex one. If you're ready to start taking your finances more seriously, reach out to my guys right there, the Wealth Advantage Group, at 248-773-8574, or check out their website at www.wealthadv.com. Ray said before the cap, Detroit got big names. Why isn't it the same since? Ray, I know people don't like to hear this. And boy, you get pushback all the time. I said this on Woodward. I said it when I used to be on Fox. There is no advantage to coming to Detroit now, and people need to get that through their head. There isn't. There's no advantage coming to Detroit. There's no. Every place has great facilities. Every place has, reasons to be there and 5-star, type situations, especially if you're not competing. And the Red Wings haven't been a competitive team for a long time. And there is no reason to come to Detroit. You can scream, hey, Hockey Town at the top of your lungs. I'm not being mean. I know somebody's going to call me a hater or some BS like that. But, Mike, I'm sorry. There's no advantage to come to Detroit right now.
Absolutely not. It's back to the time of you look at the city. Why would you want to be there? I mean, the city looks better when you're winning, right? Hey, yeah, maybe it's coming up. But when you're not winning, it's everything. There's just nothing. And, again, we're not in the non-salary cap era where Mr. Illich is here to pay all the Hall of Famers what they want, and they're gathering a group of guys that are going to have fun and play together. That's just not what's going to happen.
Austin said, I am the biggest Yzerman fan in the world. He's my hero growing up. He always said it wouldn't be linear, as in we weren't going to be better point-wise every year. However, I love your however here. The issue is when you're drafting where we have been, you're never going to get a game breaker. You have to spend more money eventually. And yes, Steve, you eventually have to give term. And I would say, Austin, that goes hand in hand with something that we've been saying on these very airways for a long time. There are a lot of nice pieces, okay? There are a lot of good players. And I'm not saying that ASP or whoever you want is not capable of becoming that which you just spoke of, a game breaker, a great player. I think that's part of the problem. I've said it once. I'll say it 111 times, Mike. There are a slew of good players, okay? And not enough good players to make you a darn good team at that.
Oh, yeah. And here's the deal with all of this that, again, go back, listen to the shows. This is what we're going to talk about. You have all these draft picks, and it's a great point. When you're picking in that position, you're gambling. You need your scouts to hit that home run. We have a stockpile of these guys, Sean, with that P word, potential. Okay, means you haven't done anything, but you got potential. At some point, you know what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to gamble and trade two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Then maybe you're going to bring something in for that, because you're not going to get them again. Let's trade Rasmussen for Draisaitl. You know, it's not going to happen. Come on, Hockey Town. You're going to have to trade some of those. So that's where I see the value in all those picks that they've gotten that are good players. Let's make a trade. Let's not Anthony Mantha and wait too long.
Here's the biggest issue, too. Going back to 2017, you picked 9th, you picked 6th, you picked 6, you picked 4, you picked 6, you picked 8, you picked 9, you picked 15. Okay, and obviously this year, and if we can go by the names, Zadina was an absolute bomb. We all know it. Mo Seider, listen, won the Calder. I know everybody and their brother said he's on his way to winning in Norris. He's a guy. I'll take him. He's a guy. All right. Lucas Raymond, I'm sorry. Mike, the jury's out. He's shown flashes of greatness. I still say the jury's out. Again, I'll take him, but don't ask me to call him something special. Edvinson, still too early. I think we can say that. Casper, I really liked what I saw out of Casper. I really did. And you know, we'll wait and see on ASP and Nate Danielson and MBN, et cetera, et cetera. You know, it's a little too early. But I think part of the problem, and even Rasmussen, Mike, when you're trying to say, yeah, this guy worked for us and he's your fourth line, he's on your fourth line, I'm going to have to shake my head and say, no, you didn't get value out of that pick. Sorry. I'm going to have to take a step aside and say, no, that didn't exactly work.
No, it's a piece that we need, but that's not what you needed out of that pick. That's just the bottom line. That's okay to say. These are the things that, again, people say you're taking shots on. You're saying it's okay. It's just not a win.
Right. That's exactly it. Is wings just for watching football? It is wing is kind of the perfect football meal, right, Mike? Can we agree on that?
Absolutely.
We're long overdue for making wings, by the way. We are really long overdue. Can we plan that sometime? Let's plan that sometime.
We have to. We are so caught up in the top 10 sausage that we want to do that we just haven't done.
I love sausage fest. There's just so darn good about sausage all day. Nugent Hopkins may be the most underrated player in the league. Once upon a time, high pick overlooked by Leon and McDavid, but that guy could play on just about anyone's first line. Austin, I always used to say that about Rantanen. I thought Mikko Rantanen was by far the most underrated player in the league, and he's not anymore. You know, when you take that step out and you come from out, you know, in his case, in the shadow of McKinnon, pretty hard to argue with Nugent Hopkins being an incredibly underrated player.
Isn't that great? So here's the thing, Sean. This is really a great feed from what we were just talking about. Like, was Ryan Nugent Hopkins what they wanted for the pick that they took him at? Absolutely not. But look what he's doing now. That's okay. And it's also to say, back in the day when they were calling him an L for where he was picked, it's good. I mean, you're going to have a lot of those guys. It's not a total loss. He's a huge piece right now. And they credit to Edmonton for not dumping him, Sean, and holding on to him. So Rantanen, Sean, we might as well go there. Is he still playing?
That's amazing, isn't it?
It
really is. It's amazing. I'm not going to argue with that. No way, no how.
That's 9 games now.
Yep.
I mean, like 2 points. I mean, what? I mean, that was like a coming out party. I'm no longer underrated. Oh, yes, I am. Look at me.
That's exactly
disappear.
How good is that kid from MSU, Isaac Howard, that won the Hobie Baker? It's the best U.S. hockey player. It's called the Hobie Baker Award. Isaac Howard, I saw him with NTDP. Obviously, I see him with Michigan State. He was 31st overall, I think, to Tampa, is having issues signing with Tampa. I'm not sure if Tampa's going to hold on to his rights or not. But he's not ready for the NHL. I think he would have been in the NHL already. And especially with the contract situation. He's 21, though. So is he going to be a stud? I mean, Mike, let's be honest. How many studs come out of U.S. college hockey at 21, 22 anyway? Like, if we're being honest, how many studs come out from that?
And I think he was banking a little bit on maybe a coming out at the World Championships. I was waiting for it. It didn't happen. I think he might have been humbled a little bit there.
Yeah. Drew, Sean, I mentioned how good Tage Thompson was in the Worlds, but I didn't call that one. How does he get left off the Four Nations? Bet they don't keep him off the Olympic team. I agree with you. I in my mind, Mike, Tage and Cole Caulfield are absolutely positively going to be on that Olympic team. I'd be surprised otherwise. What chances does Shanny come to work alongside Steve since he's not going to the Islanders? I would be shocked. My jaw would drop. I'm not going to lie to you. Marsa showed to the Habs. Don't taunt me like that. Hubie's in. Thank you. Detroit goes after Bennett. Will bring the same result when they brought in Kopp. Bennett is shining in Florida system. And he's not a guy that can get you over the hump. But Tarasenko was perfect. Perfect. Perfect example, right, Mike? And money, absolutely. Steve talks about building through the draft. Great. Has anyone told them that those players could easily leave after their rookie contract? What are you building then? Look at Buffalo. If you have a bunch of good players, especially, because guess what? You've already gave out length and term to a few guys, right?
And I've said it many a time, Sean. Me and you talk about it. That is great, but that's awesome. Grand Rapids is going to be good because those guys are going to linger in Grand Rapids. It seems to be the place where Detroit draft picks go to die.
Yep. Grilled cheese sandwiches while watching hockey. I love a grilled cheese. I'm sorry. Ted said pizza and wings, tomato soup with grilled cheese sandwiches. I'm not going to argue that. Isn't it amazing how often we come back to food, Mike? Would you give Taze a 1-year deal and pair him with Kane for one more goal if he's fully healthy? No. I've heard Kreider to Detroit. Talk me off the ledge, boys. Really? Did you hear that one?
That's a first.
Okay, sure. Yeah, that's. We haven't even talked about Carolina and Florida. It's almost like a foregone conclusion, isn't it, Mike? Let's be honest. Let's be honest. All right, I got to do a read. Hold on. When it's time to get yourself a house, whether you're buying, selling, or both, you need to contact the right agent. Who do we recommend? Well, this lady right here, Lindsay Broadwell. Your house is probably the biggest investment that you will ever make, and that's why you need a pro. Lindsay grew up on the mean streets of Northville and has expanded her team all over Southeast Michigan. She's an expert in all facets of the business. And when it's time to move, our friend Lindsay and her team will make sure that you get the most out of your house. And everything goes smoothly when finding your new home. Buyer, seller, even first-time buyer, doesn't matter. Make sure you contact Lindsay at BroadwellHomes.com. She'll help you with everything from start to close. Licensed realtor at Real Broker LLC. Start your search today at BroadwellHomes.com. Mike, does Carolina have any chance whatsoever of extending this series?
I think they do, only because that last game, game 4, was the first time we seen the series as we thought it would be. And that's what we could see going forward. And if Carolina can pull it off tonight, how tight are those Florida buttholes going to be, thinking of last year? And it's got to, Sean, mental games are the worst, and that's got to be sitting in their craw of what's going on. They got guys coming back, which is huge. Those 3 guys were dearly, dearly missed. However, I still think Reinhardt is huge. That's huge.
Oh, it is. Absolutely it is. And this is a good time. We were all joking about it in a text message. It was a good time to rest them. And Florida, I hate to use the old Pistons term. It's almost like Florida – oh, guys, I guess we have to turn on. We have to turn on the power now, right? It's like power up. Well, guys, I guess it's. Let's flip the switch. Here we go. Now we're back.
Absolutely, and it's just my opinion is that wakes them up, and we see a little bit more of what we were seeing in games 1 through 3. Like, oh, okay, now they'll be back. But if it's anywhere close, being in Carolina, the crowd's going to be there. Carolina's going to bring it. And it seemed like they really figured it out last game. And I'm sorry, entertaining game. 3-0 game. That was entertaining.
I agree with you. My gosh. Ted, we brought this up earlier, but we'll bring it up again. Moncton and Rimouski in the last round robin. Winner plays London. Loser is done. Medicine Hat beat London 3-1 last night to go straight to the final. Absolutely. I'm always going to root for the OHL teams. I like Dale. Brought it up earlier. London knocks off the 2 teams that they already beat. Then they are back in the Memorial Cup final. Hey, All About Catering LLC, full service caterer. It's graduation season. Have you picked out a spot yet? These guys are going to take care of you. Why? How can I say that? They did it for us. Graduations, weddings, bridal showers, corporate events, anything you need catering for, from 25 to 4,000 people. All About Catering can and will take care of you. Customer service and satisfaction is their number one goal. So don't sweat your next big event. Just go to allaboutcateringllc.com today to see their menus and all their 5-star reviews. Give them a call, 586-731-1398 to get your event started. So Eric is in there quoting Scarface as we're doing this show. And Mike, as you know, there's only one quote. There's only one line from Scarface that I remember. That's it. Just one. Just one.
We agree on it both. I mean, seriously, Pelican, just fly. Come on, Pelican, fly!
Oh, Pelican, Manny, look. I love Manny, look. Manny, look.
I mean, how many Pelicans were there, Sean? So many Pelicans.
There's so many Pelicans. Manny, look. Come on, Pelican. Why hasn't Dale gotten a chance as an NHL coach? I know the answer to this. You remember he coached the Capitals? He didn't want that life. True story. Why? He owns a team close to his farm, right? Close to his family. He can call his own number. His brother can work in the front office with him. He can build an absolute juggernaut close to his home. He didn't want the NHL. He had a chance to go back to Washington. He didn't want it. Really. No, true story. He didn't want it. Start smoking drumsticks. Thank me later. We're in the Depression era recipe timeline. Use the leftovers for soup. It's apparently going to be 55 degrees all summer anyway. That's great. Mark said doesn't want it. You're absolutely right. Mike, I think you know what I'm saying. You're gonna have to trust me. Dale doesn't want to be in the NHL. True story. Dale has it all in London. He has created an absolute empire up there. And I hope you guys know I say that with respect. I like Dale. I really, truly do. I like Dale. Dale was awesome with me. And you know, you're close to the family farm. Petrolia is not that too far away. I wouldn't go. Are you kidding me? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Dick didn't raise no dummies. I had a conversation with that man, Mark. I'll have you know. Mike, I think I told you about that story. What was going through your mind when your boys were fighting on the Good Friday Massacre? And he was like, I was rooting for the guy on the bottom. Spoken like a dad, right? Spoken like a dad. All right, Mike, anything else before we get out of here? Enjoy the game tonight. Maybe I'll see you Saturday.
Yeah, I'll get that answer real quick once I get upstairs. I hope we get a good one tonight. I hope it keeps me awake. But yeah, I mean, that's about it. I mean, let's hopefully we have some weekend hockey here, and I think both series get extended here.
Oh, so we would have Friday and Saturday?
I'm thinking Friday, Saturday hockey. I'm really thinking we're going to get that gift.
All right, excellent. Enjoy, Todd. Thank you. All you guys, thank you. God bless you all. I'm going to go pack a dip. We'll see you back.
What the Puck with Sean Baligian. Executive produced by Sean Baligian and Todd Losey. Theme song, incidental music, and related sound effects are from Always Pushing Forward by Elliot Middleton. Engineering, mixing, and graphic design support provided by the Unsyndicated Podcast team. Don't forget to like and subscribe on all your favorite channels. While you're there, be sure to rate and review the podcast. Got something to say to Sean? Call the Unsyndicated hotline at 248-237-3257.